New episode. We're here again. Tons to do. Where do we start? We're going to put the diff head in. We're going to pull all the old radiator and that out. We've got a nice shiny unit to go in.
Very pretty.
Nice PWR unit, which I've been looking forward to putting in. Looks like Greg's made the decision that we're starting with the diff head. So we'll get that smashed in. We'll get it all buttoned away and that. But before we get started and get it all done and get up the front, first, let's roll the intro. Now we already cheated a little bit and got this a little bit prepared, and I don't like putting grubby nuts and bolts in, so we've actually sit there, wire-wheeled everything, got all the surface ready. Greg's doing a wonderful job. What's that, Chemi Weld? No, not that bad.
This is the good stuff, mate.
I thought you were going to tack weld it all in or something. We don't want this coming out. The best part about it, we've actually had the diff all checked over. They've actually reconditioned it all up for me. That was 360, gearbox and exchange. They did a great job. They couldn't find anything wrong with the rear diff lock. They said it tested up right. So we've still got an electrical problem that we've got to find, but we know it's not in here. That's the main thing. So we might as well go ahead, put this all in. It's actually reconditioned, new bearings and everything. They did change the crown wheel and pinion, and they did that because we had some wear mark, but I wasn't missing any teeth. So precautions, we're ready to go. Newly sealed, and the master of caulking over here.
Oh, not quite, but
is
good enough.
Doing a bit of a Rembrandt job over here. Look at you, you're going. You should have been a sculptor or something in you. He's almost there. Look at that.
We'll go around.
And it was at that moment that we realised that we hadn't prepared the diff properly. Have we cleaned the diff housing out?
Yep.
Look at that. The last thing we wanted to do was put the diff... Remember, we had a lot of metal in this when we were actually took it all apart. So I did ask the boys turn around. They actually washed it out and got everything out. So we've actually cleaned all the bottom of the housing out just to make sure we got all those particles out. At the moment, they're also working on all the new handbrakes, and we've put all the new bearings and the hubs and everything on. But today, we're just going to whack the diff head in, and then we're going up to the front of the car, let it down, and then we'll work on the front. All right, let me... Right, I feel like your side's in way too far. Now, I can't... Right, there's one bolt. There's the second bolt. Right, my two bolts are started. Right, what happened then? All right, we're past that. Now, a bit of a jiggle. Watch your fingers.
It's in.
Yeah. All right. Geez, you know when it's in and glued up. Actually got a nice little table here now to put those bolts on. I'll tell you what, I've got a... In the last episode, I actually borrowed this off one of the workers, and I blew it up to the point where it was smoking. Right? So we bought him a new one, and he doesn't know that I blew his last one up. So we're trying to make his new one look a bit second-hand. Yeah. Doesn't matter which ones. You've got a couple of fine washes too.
Fine washes. The heavy ones go on first, and then you've got the shroud that goes on over a set of, I think it's these two. No, these two.
There's two there. We should know where that goes to. So maybe I'll do these ones first, and then we'll get the shroud and we'll see where she wants to go. Nice and easy when you sit there and spent the time trying to wire wheel bolts up or nuts up and washers up. Make them all good. It makes them all easy to go on. A long bolt. I bet you that's because that's supposed to be on there.
That goes on after.
To finally start to see things coming back together, all the chassis repaired, all the new shocks are in, all the brakes are starting to go in. Nice shiny, geez, it feels great. It's great having a great, diff head on it. All right. Click.
Click.
It's a great feeling to see it actually going back together. I know we've been doing bits and pieces on it, but I just feel that the diff head is like the turning point, you know. Apart from all the rocker covers being off and all the intake manifold, we got no, you know, we got no injectors, we got no starter motor in there, we got nothing on the motor.
Oh, it's nearly ready to fire up.
Yeah, well, we've got to wait for all the parts to come in and get stuff clean and that.
I better put the batteries on charge again so they're ready, eh?
This car's been on this hoist for so long that every 2 weeks I think they just recharge the batteries anyway, just to make sure we keep them, you know, keep them healthy.
Okay.
Otherwise batteries will die if we leave them there. And of course I grabbed the wrong side.
12 mil.
Yeah, well, yeah.
12 mil or 10?
Has Toyota ever used a 13 mil?
No, that's a Ford thing.
So Ford's 13, Toyota's 12 and 10, 12 and 14. There we go.
Going on nice?
Yep, we're good. All right, you can let go of that. I've got him. All right, they're all on. And that one, is you good up there?
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
I'm still going to full level at that part.
All right, now we really should put a tag on to make sure there's no diff oil. Make sure someone knows. You'll know. Anyway, before we end the day, we'll tag it. All right, let's push that out of the way, and then we will let her down, and we'll move on to the next bit. Hey, oh man, you ready for this?
I was born ready, mate.
Yep. I'm kind of excited about this one. There's a new shiny part going in. Ooh. We'll see how we go.
And then, you know, there's a bit of a process on filling it.
Oh, well, that's going to be your problem.
Yeah. Do you want to know how?
No. Yeah, I know exactly how to fill a radiator. I just called Greg.
Yeah.
Can you come fill a radio for me? And he goes, yep. And I go, no problem solved. It's easy.
Now, what I'm going to do is, because it's a new aluminium radiator,
Yep.
I've already pre-flushed the system,
Yep.
right? And what I'm going to do is I'll fill it up with distilled water.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is use my multimeter, and I'm going to test for a charge.
Electrolysis?
Yep, in the system.
Did you read any instructions, or did you know this already?
I've worked with aluminium radiators with the race cars for years.
Now he's showing me up, Craig.
Is it in the instructions?
This is why.
I thought I was being special.
Oh, I haven't read the instructions either. I was just saying,
Right, okay.
have you read the instructions? It's like, no, apparently not. He actually knows these things.
I didn't think is there instructions to fit a radiator?
Oh, well, I don't know. There probably is. All right, let's get started.
Okay, all
You
right.
work on that side, I'll work on this side. We'll see where we end up. I've got a habit of wanting to lean on the guards when I work. And when you've got zippers and stuff, you've just got to be aware that don't work on the side of your car if you've got zippers and things hanging out of your pockets, because you will scratch them, and I have done that before myself. Bad rocket. It's much easier when half the engine's missing. Yes. Who planned that? Okay. Has this got water in it? If it has, we're going to wear it. Now this is still the original radiator from, what, nearly 10 years ago when we first built the car. Never had to change it in all this time. Which is a testament, because I don't know, it's done about probably, it has to have done 45 episodes.
You know,
At least 45, 50 episodes it's done.
I don't think I even pulled it out after the $1,000 track.
We have pulled it out a couple of times to clean it because it's been clagged with mud, but it's
yeah.
always gone back in. But she's getting pretty sad now. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to take the opportunity to try and do it right. We'll leave that there and we'll crack on with this, but let's put the thing up in the air so we can get the bottom hose off.
All right.
And we'll do the grill on the way back down. Let me know when you're ready to go up.
All right, hang on a sec, I'll just get some.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't leave all my tools there. All good?
Yep.
Just let me know when I've gone up high enough, Greg.
Yeah, keep going. Alrighty.
Isn't that great seeing all this? All the new one-stop brakes are on. Greg's done a great job. Redone all the grease. We check all the hubs. Hubs have got a habit of cracking on the inside. So when you take them apart, you can't just go, oh yeah, it looks right. No, you've got to dismantle them all. So you can actually have a look and make sure that they're not. But all the one-stop brakes, all the new discs, fully ventilated, and they're cross-X'd, and they're multis, which you can go left or right. The new calipers, all the new one-stop brake pads, all my new suspension, conies, my J-Max arms, which they were there before. You're right to go. Look at that.
Yeah, that might squeeze past, mate.
We'll give it a crack, eh? We'll lower it back down?
Yeah.
Down we go. You ready? To be fair, Greg loosened this a little bit earlier. You know how many times I've actually bent and re-straightened this? Well, how many times can you re-straighten an antenna? I reckon this one's been re-straightened about 50 times. You keep on thinking it's going to snap one day.
I was waiting for it to snap there.
Neck minute. Yes, broken.
Oh, the clip wasn't even in.
No, I thought it was my mastery. That's what it was.
Must have been.
You turn around and say, when I pull something out that comes out easy, you turn around and go, oh, the clip's broken. You know, so when you do it, like, oh, look, this is how you do it, Rocket. This is nothing. Down there is really bad. Down in there, so we're going to have to maybe blow it all off with some air, but she's really bad. A big bird nest down in there almost. That's where my birds sleep.
There is a bird there.
I believed you for a second, you bugger. All right, I'll have to go down.
I had it sitting over it. It's obviously fallen back over it.
Yeah. You want to? Oh, you want? I'll do it. You right? Or you want to? Tuck him under. Yeah, that's it. There we go. I'll wait for you to come up.
You got it?
Yeah. Yeah, the UHF cable stuck around that corner there. You all right? Oh. Look at that. And you know that'll be damage from me trying to clean it out with a gurney. You try and stick it down in the gaps, you try and damage it, and no matter what you do, you can't get that out. And on the inside, turn it around. Look how many of these are bent over, and I've actually had the whole corners of these chock-a-block with mud. And you can't see it with the shroud on properly, but she's seen her days, that thing has. Look at all these seeds, they're absolutely everywhere. Do you want to grab that, Greg, for me, and throw that on the table over there? And Cameraman Craig wants to come down and have a look. Come on, old fella, you can get down. See everything that's stuck in there? These are all bamboo grass seeds from the last trip in the Kimberley. So we're going to have to try and get them out. And you know what will get her out? I think a brush, a dustpan and brush type brush. Because these are swiping out pretty easy.
Right there, mate.
So, look at that. Let's see if this theory works. A lot of it's coming out. Might have to use a combination of No, it is. I reckon I might pay to put her up in the air and we'll tackle this from the bottom, what do you reckon?
So it falls on you?
Yeah. Well, on you. I'll stand back with Craig and we'll film. I reckon we might get the air gun out and see if we can blow some of this stuff out. What do you reckon? It's going to get a wee bit noisy. Oh, well, half. Not sure if I'm doing any good. What's happened, you're pulling the strands through, but most of the seeds are stuck on the other side still. So then you've got to try and blow back the other way. I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced anything like this, but if you have, you know, let us know. What did you actually do? How bad was it? Did you end up having to change the radiator, the condenser? I've had to have the radiator out of this probably 3 or 4 times, but I've never seen the condenser so bad with seeds before. You know? So what we've decided is that there's no good persisting with this because the AC condenser needs to come out, and to do it right we've got to get someone come in so they can actually degas it properly. Then we can pull it out, then we can clean it and actually blow it through properly. We can also get all these bird nests and everything out because we can get them from this side. So there's no good continuing trying to put the radio in there. But what we can do is that we can take all the fittings and everything we're going to take off the old radio to come out. We can put them on the new one, get that all ready. So and while we're waiting for the AC guy to come out and do this, we can do all that. And then Miles will actually put the tail shaft in. We've been meaning to do that, so we'll do that.
Okay.
All right, so I'll put this back up in here. That can stay there. I guess we're back on the radiator.
Yep.
Let's go over there. These are nice and easy bolts to get off. All right. Excellent. How bad it is. That's what's all through the air conditioning condenser, unfortunately. You can't get it out. Like, we have to, like this, pull it out so we can actually do it all properly. That can go in the scrap heap, I guess. No good here. Yes, because that's how I had it there. Really well made. They just pop straight on the exact same mounting positions. Where are we?
Hey, what do you reckon we use new bolts?
We got new bolts?
We've got new bolts.
Really? These bolts? Gone. New bolts. I'll just shine it while he's not watching. Otherwise he'll mock me.
Put a little bit of, when we done up that, it put a little bit of load on it.
It did put a little bit of flex on it.
Yeah.
But, well, it's better that it's away than in. Now, we don't need that.
No, we don't. We can see got their own.
They've got their own plug in there.
We'll leave all that on.
Yep. So
that's good to go.
That's all complete, which I'm stoked about, but we're not going to put it in just yet. We'll get the air conditioning condenser sorted out. This is all done now. We might just wrap this back up briefly.
Yeah.
And then just pop it back on the back. And then while it's down, we'll grab the tail shaft off. Do you want to just grab that bubble wrap and grab all that dirt off? I don't want me dirt on the... De-dust. No, no, no. I want the bubble wrap.
Yeah.
I just don't want the dirt that's in the bubble wrap. You want this rear tail shaft?
Yeah.
I have no idea what he's going to do here.
Oh, it's a simple test, mate.
So explain what you're doing.
Well, what I'm going to do is, you can grab this and go like that. But
yeah.
The force of your hand isn't going to feel any clearance. So what I like to do is...
Yeah, you'll feel if it's seized or if it's something majorly wrong, but you're not going to feel if it's something minor.
So I'll clamp it up like that. And I'll get me big pair of multi-grips.
Now, Greg actually does this on every tail shaft that we do here with all the 79 series. So all the conversions that we do from manual to automatic, Greg does that. So when we were talking about tail shaft before, Greg said that he wanted to actually test all this. And neat welding room. Aren't all welding rooms like this? Right, so you just put it in there.
Yep.
and use a mega pair of jaws just to physically twist it.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no...
Now, would you like to usually
Hold
get
it.
someone to help me here and bring it around this way?
Yeah.
Yep. Now come up a little bit. Oh, that feels good.
Very good. And then we do the same with this end, I presume?
Yep.
Feels really good working on the girl again, I tell you. I think the last major work we did on it was around about Christmas, and what are we into now? End of April? So, but it's coming together, and every time we do something, it's all, you know, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because you find something and you've got to go and do something else. Like, we're going to put the new radiator in today, and we didn't even know that we were going to come across the problem with the air conditioning condensers or anything like that. And the other thing I noticed too, which is not a lot I can do about it, but my long range tank, with all these big dents in it and everything, has sort of turned into a medium range tank now. I know I've got the same problem in my main tank at the back, and I love these tanks. This is a really good tank. You know, this is where the tail shaft goes, so it goes up and over the top of the tail shaft. But all up, this was, I think, 110, and the rear one's 130, so that gives me 240. But at the moment, with the dents that are in it, I think I'm down to about 190. So I've lost about 40, 50 litres just due to all these dents. But you really can't fix them. Like, the steel's really, really thick. Not as if you can blow them out or expand, and there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm just going to leave it. You got it? Yep. That's that one. Oh, look at that. Fits beautiful. If you'll bring me a nut and bolt.
Okay. Actually, what I might tell you, Rod, the amount of 79s I've worked on with the conversions and all the rest of it, what I've found is, especially with vehicles that have come in with a few Ks on them and people have taken out tail shafts, I've always noticed that. Now, a lot of people think in their mind it's the right way to do it, but they put the bolt in and then put the washer on the back with the nut. That's not the way Toyota like it to be done.
Really?
Toyota, straight off the floor, they have the washer
under the head of the bolt. And then the nut is separate, with no washer at all.
That's right, because it's a flange type.
Yeah, it's already got its own captive nut. Well, it's moulded nut, really, isn't it? A moulded washer.
I'm just going to sit that there for safety.
Well, I'll do the back ones, you do the front ones. So I've got a question for you, Greg.
Yeah?
When you do this, and I've seen people ask about this before, do you then hit up all the grease nipples, or how do you do it?
Okay. I already done it. You've probably seen it. It's got some fresh grease on it there. I did it before off camera.
Yeah.
I put grease in the slip joint.
Yeah.
Right. Then I take the grease nipple out.
Yeah.
Compress the slip joint.
Yeah.
So it pushes out excess grease. Reinstall it.
I've actually seen people actually put so much grease in these that they actually hydraulic the tail shaft out. They physically force the tail shaft out, and it actually puts a lot of, and especially if like, the wheels are hanging or anything, then you pop it down, and it actually puts a lot of force at each end.
We've had them in here before where I've literally had to take that out just to get the tail shaft off.
Yeah, we actually did one. We did a scene once where we actually undid one. One of them in this one, was it?
Oh,
this one.
Yeah.
We couldn't get the tail shaft out. We actually undid the grease nipple on that, and then the slip would actually move.
That's when I did it. That's when I set it up then. Yeah.
So that's all good. The other thing, whenever you're doing tail shafts, especially where slip joints come completely out, not all tail shafts do, but some of them do. When they do, you've got to make sure that you clock them, which means that your tail shaft, that the front, yoke of the tail shaft is lined up with the back, right? So they're both, the universal joints are in line all the way down.
Now here's a trick for you.
Yep.
Some vehicles, I won't give away which ones, but some vehicles deliberately have them slightly offset to counteract the harmonics that they can create.
But it's not a Toyota?
No, it's not a Toyota.
It's not a Nissan? All right. So it's not a Toyota, right? So if you've got a Toyota, they're lined up straight. Hey?
Quite a few vehicles out there do it deliberately,
They do it
especially on the
deliberately.
front. Yeah.
But does that mean that they have to be marked? Otherwise, if they're not put back the same way,
Well,
that they'll have a harm on it?
I mean, if you're a DIY guy, the best thing to do is not allow
Don't allow them to come apart,
Exactly,
or at least
yeah.
do what I normally do is I'd mark them.
Yeah, you mark them.
So
yeah.
I mark them, just make sure when I put them in, they're in the same markings. I only mark one side, because if you go all the way around, you could be putting it in 180 out. Not that it makes much difference. All right, that's diff in, which I'm wrapped. Tail shaft's in. Front one was already in. We never had to take that one out. We've got everything. We've got the radiator repaired. We're off done. That's as far as we can go today because we're going to wait for the aircon guy to turn up and do the right thing. We're not going to release the gas here. We're going to get him actually to what do they call it? Extract it.
Yeah,
And then
decanter it if you like. He'll come in with his mobile setup and he'll do it in-house. He'll do it
Then
here.
we can pull the air conditioner condenser out. We can actually sit there trying to get all those seeds out because it's going to take hours. Not something we prefer, not something that you want to hang around and watch for. So please, like, subscribe. You know, put your thumbs up. We always like to see you put your thumbs up on that because it makes a big difference to the algorithms and everything. And well, once we get everything together, we get all the other parts. Then we'll start putting the rest of it back together. So until then, see you next time.
Again.
Again, and again, and again. Right?
Again.
All right, let's get started.
Bloopers.
Happy with that? Oh, I've broken a zip. Don't look at me.
Broken his zip.
I've broken a zip. Don't look, nobody look at me.